Ms. Mahan, you claim the defendant, your ex-fiance, Mr. Shrum, cheated on you while you were pregnant, broke off your engagement, and now is denying paternity of your 1.5-year-old son, Blake. Mr. Shrum, you deny that you are the father of the plaintiff's baby. You state she cheated on you and had sexual relations with an ex during the time of conception.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Ms. Mahan, why are you convinced that the defendant is the father?
Your Honor, I am extremely upset with this man. I have tried time and time again to convince him that he is the only man I had unprotected sex with when my son was conceived, but he refuses to believe me. I've been trying for the past
That's not
year.
true.
I've been trying for the past year and a half to convince him that this is his son, but he denies the fact that it is his child. And
yeah, that's kind of hard. Like I said, I deny the fact because, like I said, one night I woke up and she was next to me. I go out to the living room and she's underneath the covers with her ex.
Okay, let's start from there. You were living together.
Yes, ma'am.
And in a relationship.
Yes, ma'am.
You're in the bed one night, wake up, she's not there.
Nope.
And you do what? You go where?
I go out to the living room to see if I can find her, and she's underneath the covers with her ex.
Ms. Mahan, is that true?
The only reason he's saying this is because him and my ex did not get along at all since day one of mine and his relationship.
Was your ex over there?
He was living with us at the time because...
Yeah.
So wait, was this a three's company? What was this?
No, Your Honor. No, it was not. I had a brief relationship with this man, and we broke it off several months prior to me and Mr. Shrum getting together.
I heard things were going on before I moved up there. So.
Oh, so the ex lived there before you?
Yes, he's lived there for quite a while. And I also the other night, one night, I caught her. I woke up like another night, and
okay. Before you get to another night, I gotta understand this night.
Yes,
you walk in and they're under the covers.
Yes, ma'am.
Doing what? I don't even know.
I was nowhere near him. I was on one end of the couch. He was on another. I had my blanket and he had his.
That's not true. They weren't even watching TV. They were face to face. I felt like I was betrayed. Like I said, would she rather be with him or me? You need to pick which one you need to do.
Now, when you moved in with her and the ex was already living there, did you feel some kind of way about that?
Oh yeah. Like I said, I didn't like it at all. I figured, that she has her ex and her current boyfriend living there. I figured, the ex could leave.
Did you suggest maybe he would need to find somewhere else to live?
Oh yeah, he could have. He could have other places to live.
No, did you suggest that to her?
Yeah, plenty of times, but she just didn't want him to go because I supposedly didn't have no place to go.
Okay. So how quickly after you met and got together did you get pregnant?
It was about a month after me and him got together and he moved in with us.
I never knew she was pregnant.
That is a lie. I called you and I told you that I was pregnant the day I found out I was pregnant.
You told me that you were pregnant after we split up, after I called your mom's cell phone, you were at the hospital.
So you were pregnant and you're saying that you told Mr. Shrum from the get-go, I'm pregnant.
Yes, Your Honor, I did. We had spent a month up at his mother's house. We bought a pregnancy test while we were up there. It came up positive. And during the month of conception...
You bought the pregnancy test together?
I bought it and he just watched me use it.
Oh. And I'll leave that alone.
No, like I said,
Mr. Shrum, surely you wouldn't forget that visual if it had happened.
But I never remember that at all.
You don't remember that happening?
No, not at all.
His mother sat there and told him just because both of the blue lines on the plus sign were not the same exact shade of blue, that it was a faulty pregnancy test.
You don't remember that either?
Nope.
Wow. Well, let's move forward. So you guys were still a couple at this time when you told him you were pregnant, but he never heard you.
Yes, Your Honor. We had gotten into a big altercation. It was hot one night. He was complaining because it was hot. I told him to quiet down. My mom had to get up the next morning to go to work at 4 o'clock. He started hollering and screaming at me. I slapped him on the arm and told him, you need to quiet down. You're going to wake up my mother. He turns around and bites me. I scream, and my mom comes in the room and tells him he needs to get out or she was going to call the cops.
Well, if you wouldn't have, like I said,
Did you bite her?
Yes, he did.
Yes, Your Honor, he did.
Yes, he did.
He's admitting it. If you won't give him a chance to talk, he's admitting it. Mr. Shrum, why would you bite Ms. Mann?
Because, like I said, this one night, she just got all, mad at me because I was trying to talk to her about her ex, see if she still loved him and cared a lot about him. Mm-hmm. And, I guess she wanted to sleep, and so I was laying on my stomach, and she just, started beating the crap out of me from behind. The only way I could get her off of me is, bite her on the leg.
Were you beating him?
No, Your Honor, all I did was slap him on the arm and tell him to quiet down because he was going to wake up my mother, and I do not like dealing with my mother when she gets woken up in the middle of the night.
She's a liar.
No, she's not.
Okay. So, Mr. Shrum, you don't see it this way. She attacked you.
Yes, ma'am.
And you had to defend yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Whatever.
And you bit her.
Yes.
And so you had this huge altercation, then what happens?
He bit me, left a bruise about the size of a $50, real nasty purple color on my thigh. My mom comes in the room after I scream, tells him he either has to get out by the time she gets off of work willingly, or she was going to call the cops and have them remove him from the property permanently.
At this time, I'd like to call plaintiff's witness to the podium. Please stand, ma'am. State your name.
Candace Mahan.
Hello, Ms. Mahan. Now, you are the plaintiff's mother.
Yes, ma'am.
And what would you like to add?
That he is a two-faced liar.
Oh.
I am the grandmother. I am not the father. I have raised this child. He's almost 2 years old. I have done nothing but raised him, clothed him, diapered him, made sure he had food in his belly and a roof over his head.
So you're pregnant now. During this time, is he supporting you at all?
No,
is he helping?
No, Your Honor, he did not.
He's a deadbeat.
We made a promise to each other to get married the day after my 18th birthday, and he does not give me any prior notice that he is leaving me for another woman. He had been sleeping with this woman for 2 weeks after we were still together.
Is that true, Mr. Shrum?
I was with another woman, but like I said, we were broke up at the time.
During this time, you're suggesting that she was sleeping with other people during the time of conception.
Yes.
Is this true,
Looks
Ms.
like his
Mann?
ex.
Did you sleep with anybody?
No, I did not have any kind of sexual relations with anybody else.
I have my doubts, you know. I really do.
No exes? Nobody? Not
The
one
ex-
person?
The ex that was living with us, I had slept with him. but
Okay. When?
Before me and Mr. Shrum got together.
Mr. Shrum, was that your understanding, or did you believe they were still kind of hooking up,
Yeah,
as you
I do
all
believe
would
that,
say?
that there was still stuff going on between them two. I really do.
When the baby was born, did you come see the baby? Were you there for Ms. Mahan?
I've never seen the baby at all.
I called him 5 days after I had my son when they finally let me go home. And he asked me, what's wrong? Did you lose the baby?
How, Mr. Shrum, do you ask her, did she lose the baby if you never knew she was pregnant?
It's like, because I talked to her the same day that she had it, and she's like, oh, yeah, I was pregnant with your son. I was like, okay, how is this? I
And
never
when he
got any
asked me
phone
that,
calls or
it
nothing
made
like
me
that.
very upset. It made me feel like he wanted me to lose the baby. So he would be free from any kind of responsibility he'd have to have towards this child.
Well, speaking of responsibility, did you accept any, Mr. Shrum? Have you helped support the child at all?
No,
Diapers?
Your Honor,
No, I have
Nope.
not. Because like I said, I never met him, never seen him.
My son does not get a phone call. He does not get a car. He doesn't get a present.
Like
He
I
doesn't
said,
get
you know,
anything.
why
His
should
birthday
I help
rolls
support
around.
a kid that's not mine?
He never once called. He did not send him a birthday card or a present. It broke my heart that this man does not want anything to do with my son.
Mr. Shrum?
Like I said, I want to know if he's really mine or not. I really do. Because like I said, if he is mine,
Then you can step up because I'm the grandmother, not the father.
exactly.
And you're going to take responsibility, not me.
What I'm not getting from your story is why, specifically, what evidence you would have that would suggest that you are definitely not the father of this child.
Yeah.
And if you were with her during the period of conception, how are you suggesting that this is an impossibility?
Because like I say, he doesn't have my ears, eyes, nothing.
Because
Looks do not matter, Doyle.
Yeah, it does.
Look
No,
at me.
it
I
don't.
look just like my mother, but that doesn't mean she went and cheated on me
Say-
with somebody else.
Do you think we look anything alike? I
Yes,
don't
he
think we
does.
do.
He's
No,
got your eyes.
no,
No.
they don't.
Yes, he
This is
does.
a picture of you as a baby
Yes.
and of Blake as a baby. You say you see absolutely no resemblance.
None whatsoever.
I think what I need to know going forward is your intentions. What if this is your child?
I'm gonna step up and become a father.
Are you sure of that?
No.
Yes, ma'am.
Currently, he has been trying to get me to leave the man I am with right now and go back to him. He said that is the only way he would take care of his child.
Is that true? Wow.
No, ma'am. Like I said, I still love her, and I still want to be with her. You know.
If you still love me and you still wanted to be with me,
Wait a minute.
why'd you give somebody else?
Wait a minute. We just had a news flash come through the courtroom. You just stated that you still love Ms. Mahan.
Yes, ma'am.
And you still want to be with her.
Yes.
Together as a family with your son, should this be determined, this is
ma'am.
your child.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what about if it's not your child? Do you still want to be with her?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Even though all the the bull she's put me through, and all the stuff I put her through, like I said, I still care about her.
You
I really
still
do.
have a girlfriend now.
Yes.
Your Honor, I have no problems remaining in a civil relationship with this man.
Does she know this?
Yes, I know. He told me himself.
No, does the girlfriend know that you really want to be with Ms. Mahan?
Yes, she does.
Oh, okay. This is really good. Okay, so Ms. Mahan, you hear now, Mr. Shrum has indicated to the court and to you that he really wants to be with you. Do you really want to be with him?
No, Your Honor, I do not, because I am afraid he will revert back to his old ways. I told him a while back. The only way I would get back with him is if he took another month of anger management classes, and after we got back together, he'd have to continue taking them for a year. He refused to do so, so I told him, then I cannot be with you. I love the man I am with right now. We've been talking about getting married, and I'm not going to give up my happiness for him to be able to take care of his son.
But either way, regardless of if you two get back together or not, you do understand that the child, Blake, is the most important thing in this situation, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
I hear a lot of arguing about he said this and she said this and he did this and then she did this, and I don't hear as much talk about the baby.
Your Honor, that is the only reason I've been fighting with this man for the past year and a half is because of my son. I have sacrificed so much to make sure my son has the things he needs. And this man can't even spare $20 for a pack of diapers or wipes or milk or anything my child needs. We have a hard enough time making sure we have everything we need. Then we get into a scrape where we have to ask one of our relatives to help us out, and we hate doing that. It is not their responsibility. It is not my parents' responsibility to take care of this child. It's his.
Well, the court needs to say this to both of you. Before you embark on activities that produce children, you may want to consider if you could afford them. Now that baby Blake is here and is a blessing, if it's determined that Mr. Shrum is the father, you both will be responsible to take care of him. But understand, Ms. Mahan, if something happens and he is not determined to be the father, it is still a responsibility that you have brought on yourself. And as you can see, it has overwhelmed your mother, because I'm sure she's thinking about just raising you and getting you off in life.
I've raised my kids.
She's raised her kids. You heard what she said. But now you've put her in a position where now she's raising yet a grandchild. Now, getting to the DNA results, it's time for you all to know whether or not Mr. Shrum is the father. And not just so that you will know whether she cheated and she will know what. At the end of the day, it's not about that. It's about baby Blake.
Your Honor, my biggest fear with my son is that when he gets older, he's going to ask me, why doesn't my daddy want me? That's always been my biggest fear with my child. Every time I think about it, it makes my heart hurt. It breaks my heart.
I want him if he's mine. I really do. If he's mine, I want him.
He sounds sincere, Ms. Mahan. And despite his mistakes, would you be willing to accept he does want him and he does want to be a part of his life?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. Well, with that being said, Jerome, do you have the results?
I certainly do.
Thank you. All right. When it comes to the matter of baby Blake, Jerome, do you have the results?
I certainly do.
Thank you. All right, when it comes to the matter of baby Blake, it has been determined by this court that you are the father.
Booyah!
You are. Tell me what you feel. It's okay.
Can't believe I wasn't there for him.
You have regrets. That's honest. Do you hear him?
Yes, I do.
Tell me what you feel.
I want to see him.
Good. Because I know he wants to see you. What would you want to say?
I love him. And I'm sorry for denying him.
Is it okay if Mr. Shrum meets his son for the very first time in my chambers?
Yes, Your Honor. He may.
Beautiful. This has been a good day because we have done something not just for you, but for baby Blake. Because he has a mom and a dad that both want to be in his life. And that's what every child deserves. I wish you the best of luck, and I will see you in chambers. Court is adjourned.